The motto, storytelling, is 3 apples fell from heaven, one for the teller, one for the listener, and one for the person who heard or took heed. It will take you, first of all, to a mountainous area in China, where we're going to find a young girl who had been an orphan, but had been adopted by the farmer and his wife. And they needed her work. They needed her work as a goose girl. And every single day, she took the geese to different places for them to graze. Now this one day, which was just in the beginning of spring, she took the geese out as she usually did. And all of a sudden she heard, hello, 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 hello. So what is this? What is saying hello, hello, hello? And she looked around, and it was flowers that were coming up because it was early spring. And she said, the flowers are talking to me. This is just such, beautiful, but I can only see a certain amount of flowers because I can only see the flowers that are right in front of me, a little bit farther over there and there. And when she got her geese to the area where they were going to graze, she looked at them and she saw one of the geese starting to go like this and fly off. And she thought, oh, if I can fly off, if I can fly, I can see the beauty, more and more and more beauty. And she said, okay, I'm pretty sure I can fly. So she went to one of these streams that was there, and she put some water on her shoulders, and she started to go like this. Started to go like this, and like this. Now she's doing this for quite a while. And the grocer's daughter comes by, and she says, Goose girl, what are you doing? She said, oh, I'm trying to fly. I'm going to make wings, I'm trying to fly. And so the grocer's daughter said, that is absolutely stupid. I've never heard of anything so stupid. And the grocer's daughter goes off and goes to a quiet place near her dad's grocery, and she starts, she said, well, maybe I'll get some milk and put it on my shoulders, and she did. And she starts going like this. And she's like, oh, yeah, well, look, if Goose Girl can fly, then the grocer's daughter can fly. I'm going to get my wings. She's doing this, and the lawyer's daughter walks by, and she says, what are you doing, grocer's daughter? She says, I'm going to fly, because Goose Girl can fly, I can fly. So the lawyer's daughter said, that is one of the most stupid things I think I've ever seen in my world. You're just stupid. But then what happens is she went to her home in a quiet place, and she said, I need to have something magical. We have some wonderful wine in the basement that I know my dad saves for important things. So she poured a little bit of that wine, put it on her shoulders, and started going like this. So of course, in all these stories, there's prince and princesses and things like that, where there was a princess. And she came by and she said, lawyer's daughter, what are you doing? She said, well, I am going to get wings and I'm going to fly. Because if grocer's daughter can fly, and if the goose girl can fly, well, certainly I can fly. So the princess says, I've never seen anything so silly in my life. And of course she goes off, and she thinks, oh, I know, I'm going to put something very special on my shoulders. I'm going to get some special perfume. And that's what she did. Put it on her shoulders, and she starts going like this. Well, the queen comes by, and she says, daughter, what are you doing? She says, I am going to grow wings so I can fly. You see, because if the lawyer's daughter can fly, and if the grocer's daughter can fly, and if the goose girl can fly, certainly I can fly. So the queen says, I've never heard of anything so stupid. What the queen did afterwards is she went down to the lower part of the castle, and she got out some very, very important oil that you only use when you're going to have a special crowning of someone. She put those on her shoulders, and she starts going like this. Oh, I'm going to fly. But she went to the palace porch, and she out there doing this. And all the women in the village said, by this time, people were talking about the fact that somebody's going to learn to fly. We're all going to learn to fly. So the queen's going like this, and she looks out from her balcony. She see all the women from the village going like this. So what happens, and you would probably realize, the men of the village are getting very annoyed. the women aren't doing the things women are supposed to be doing, like cooking and gathering up the grain and all these things. They're not making bread, they're not doing anything. So the men get together and they say, we have to stop this. How are we going to stop this? And one of the men says, I think there's a magic potion, and I think I know where to go get it. And this is going to be able to come to us, the spirit of the wings. Now, I don't know if this is going to work. We're going to try. And so he does. He goes and he gets this magic potion, and he smokes it and gets the air, and all the smoke comes out. And then what happens, also what comes out, is the spirit of the wings. Now the spirit of the wings is there now. And the men say, look, all our women are trying to fly. And the spirit of the wings says, well, I'll see what I can do about this. So of course what the spirit of the wings does is she starts going around and talking to people. What are you doing that for? What are you doing that for? And what you hear, from people, you hear from one of the peasants says, well, if the queen can fly, I probably can fly. And then she talks to the queen, and the queen says, well, if my daughter, the princess, can fly, I can fly. And then the princess says to the spirit of the wings, look, if lawyer's daughter can fly, I can fly. And then what happens is that, again, the spirit of the wings goes to the lawyer's daughter, and she says, well, the grocery's daughter can fly, then I can fly. There's the grocery's daughter. She says, if Goose Girl can fly, I can fly. So then the spirit of the wings goes to Goose Girl and says, what are you doing that for? And she said, because I want to have wings so I can go and see the beauty of the world, of all the flowers. And of course, this is a wonderful story. The spirit of the wings granted the Goose Girl a couple of minutes to be able to have wings and to fly and see the beautiful flowers that spoken to her. Now that is a Chinese story by Diana Wuxi,